Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
What's
Hey.
up? What's up?
Cass is back.
Whoop, whoop. Guess who's back?
Back again. Still feel like shit, but here I am.
Oh, are you sick?
The whole family has been sick. It's been nonstop.
Cass
Oh.
is going around.
I threw up this morning. I don't know why. Just random. Didn't feel good. Threw up. Then felt like I couldn't move all day. Awful. And then Dylan comes home sick. And he's got the man flu. So I just stopped acting like I was sick. And he stopped acting like he was sick.
Can't live with them and you can't kill them. Because
Mhm.
you will be on a murder podcast if you do.
Talking about?
Murder podcasting.
No, that's your topic today.
Sorry. Hey, we're going to get started?
I'm ready.
Okay. So a little background on this episode. We had recorded it in October-ish.
I don't
And
even.
it didn't come out very well. So we have to redo it.
Unfortunately.
And nobody but me really liked the episode. This is my episode. That's why they didn't like it.
No, I don't like it because of who we're talking about.
Oh, that
And-
douchebag.
And who are we talking about?
Do I have to say it? Yeah. Yeah.
Christopher Watts.
Yuck.
Don't hide your enthusiasm.
Have
please.
have you seen the TikTok where they're like, he gave me the ew, lady boner gone?
No, I don't do TikTok. Sorry, you have to show it.
That's
I used to be anti-Instagram, and I would only be on TikTok. And then I saw some of the videos Dylan was watching. I was like, they're so cool. So then I switched over to Instagram, and I've never gone back.
Once you go to Instagram, you never go back.
Never go back.
Okay. Ready? Okay, so this is Queen Bee off the cuff talking about Christopher Lee Watts. We're going to have a group discussion. Loser?
loser.
So what do you know about the Watts case?
I know his house is haunted as shit now.
He is a
What else
douche
do you
canoe.
He's a douche canoe.
Yeah.
Didn't he, like, fool cops into believing that he was, like, just as shocked as they were that his wife was missing? Even
Well, they call that the
he-
sermon on the front porch, the sermon on the mount there, where he stands on his front porch and he asks for his wife and those kids to come home. And what spouse, and he referred to them in past tense.
Yes, he did. It was in past tense. I was just gonna say that.
And if he wanted them to come home, why didn't he use their names? Yeah.
He's a loser.
Okay, so I had obsessed for years over the Watts case. Every time I hear sweet little Bella sing the song she made up for her daddy, my daddy is a hero, I get sick to my stomach. Have you heard that song? I think I played it, we recorded it the first time. I'm not going to do it again, but yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking. Her little face. She loved her daddy so much, and it is so frustrating what happened to her and her sisters at the hands of that daddy that she thought was her hero. Christopher Lee Watts was born May 16th, 1985. He Chris is a Taurus. Cass is a
Very
Taurus.
bullheaded.
Watch out. Watch out for us.
Yes. He married his wife, Shanann Catherick Ruzek, on November 3rd, 2012. So there's some Scorpio energy there. Shanann herself was born on January 10th, 1984. So she was
She's a
a year.
Capricorn.
She's a Capricorn. She was born a year and some months before her husband was. So she was a little older than he was. Together, Chris and Shanann had 2 daughters, Bella Marie, who was born December 17th, 2013, a Sagittarius, and Celeste Catherine, known as Cece, who was born July 17th, 2015.
That would be a Cancer.
Mm-hmm. Shanann was also 15 weeks pregnant with her son, Nico Lee, at the time of their demise.
This is off topic, but I love all the Cancers in my life. Like anybody who's a Cancer, I gravitate towards them. They're probably my favorite. And I know a lot of people are like, they're too emotional. Look, I need them. I love them.
Just love how you
All
guys
my
know
little Cancers.
that. Like,
Okay,
I
well,
still get the chart as to say, oh, you're this.
Okay,
you know.
well, I'm a Cancer, or I'm not a Cancer. I'm a Capricorn.
I have
And,
so many Capricorns in my family, it's
yeah,
unfucking real.
and Sagittarius. I know that one because it's right before me. I get Taurus and I think Aries, right? I get those two mixed up, but
Aries is a sun sign, a fire sign, and they're wild. And Tauruses love to eat.
Tauruses are bullheaded.
What would
They're-
little A be?
What was it?
Little A.
She's a
December,
Sagittarius.
right? Yeah, Sagittarius.
Yeah,
And E
she's a
is Capricorn, right?
She's what, the 7th?
8th.
He's Capricorn.
I'm gonna have to look up what they mean and all that stuff.
Well, you could just look forward to
Let's just say you
me.
got your hands. A Sagittarius and a Capricorn.
Oh, the Sagittarius, definitely. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and Capricorns are very stubborn and hard-headed too.
Yeah.
And
Great.
You
sometimes
can
they
look forward
their
to
husbands-
me with little E.
Yeah.
She loves you.
Well, we're
Absolutely.
both Capricorn, so.
If she knew I was up here right now with you, she'd be beside me, all in my face.
Okay. So fun fact. Shanann Watts, her name, she goes by Shanann, but actually her name is Shannon. But she didn't like Shannon, so she just changed the enunciation of her name to Shanann. Now, sometimes her mother would call her Shannon because, you know, her mother, like when you're a mother and you name your child, like you call your child the name you gave them, not some nickname or name that they decided. Tori.
That's
So-
a nickname.
Hmm?
That's a nickname.
That is a nickname. It's not your real name. Okay.
Against everything you were just saying.
I don't call her Tori.
She just
Oh.
did.
I call her her real name, the name that I gave her. She calls herself that other name.
Tori. Yeah.
Tori.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Shanann had been married and divorced prior to her marriage to Chris. She built her own magnificent house and boasted how she had done it all on her own. Now, mind you, she didn't go to college. She worked for this place called the Dirty South, which there were allegations that there was some money laundering and things going on there.
It is a beautiful house.
It was a beautiful house. She decorated it beautiful. It was like a mansion.
Yeah.
She was like 19 years old when she built it.
Beautiful.
You know, it was. She was introduced to Chris by a friend of hers who was also a cousin to Chris. The cousin tried to set them up. Shanann was not real sure about being set up because she'd just gone through the divorce and all that kind of stuff. But eventually she accepted his friend request on Facebook and they started talking in 2010. Shanann had said that Chris was the best thing that ever happened to her and he made her very happy and he took really good care of her.
That's really kind of, I don't know, chilling when you think of that. Like, you think of her saying that, and then you think of what happens later on. Like, it's really,
Sad.
yeah, I have goosebumps.
Yeah. It was kind of like foreshadowing, like, because she did everything on social media, everything on Facebook. And so what drew a lot of people to the case was the fact that you saw her and you saw the children and you saw Chris live in real time on Facebook on many, many, many videos. And so they became like real people, like people you knew, like your friends. And
Yeah, like almost like you were FaceTiming them or something.
right,
Or, like,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. You watch the little girls grow up.
Yeah.
You knew the inside of their house, by her videos and things.
That seems terrifying to me, but
Yeah.
Well, so make sure that you don't take videos of yourself on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever and let everybody know the layout of your house.
no.
So Shanann also reportedly suffered from the effects of lupus among other ailments. So she was sickly, reportedly sickly. After her death, the rumor mill was full of speculation that Shanann did not have lupus or any other ailments. So the question was, did her move from North Carolina to Colorado cure her symptoms of the lupus, or was the medicines that she was taking cure the lupus, or did she just not have lupus? Or when they did the autopsy, that's not what they were looking for because they knew it was a homicide. And why would you look for lupus when you knew the woman had been, red rummed?
I know Selena Gomez, she has lupus and it affected her kidneys, I think, and she needed a kidney transplant.
Yes.
But I think she still has not like issues the same issues that she was having, but I think she still struggles with like the effects of lupus. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just gonna come out. I don't know what lupus is.
It's like somebody's immunocompromised. So their body kind of attacks itself. Like your body thinks that your normal blood cells and things are foreign, and so they fight it, and then it makes you feel like you're sick all the time.
So that sounds.
Yeah. So they were married in 2012, but before their 2012 wedding was real dramatic. Before the wedding, Chris's mother and sister were supposed to send out invitations, and it appeared that they did not send out those invitations as Shanann had requested, specifically to Shanann's friends and family. And that caused a scene between Shanann and her in-laws. As a result, Chris's mother, Chris's father, and Chris's sister did not attend their wedding. The only Watts family member that was in attendance to Chris and Shanann's wedding was Chris's grandmother. I don't know if it was maternal grandmother or paternal grandmother, but it was a grandmother. That was the only person from Chris's family that went to see him get married.
Wow.
Yeah. After they were married, they decided to move from North Carolina to Colorado following a friend of Shanann's, because they had heard that the weather was better suited for people with serious health issues like lupus. So when they moved to Colorado, they lived in their friend's basement. and that is where Bella was conceived while they built their house in 2825 Saratoga Trail in Frederick, Colorado. That's also where they got their dog Dieter from.
Peter.
Dieter.
Dieter was his name. He was like a little
Aw.
hot dog. Cute dog.
Oh,
I think,
Dawson.
yeah, his the dog lives with Shanann's brother now, Frankie
Aw,
in North Carolina. So
Peter.
a lot
I
of
wonder what
people.
nicknames they had for him.
I don't know. Cooper Dieter. Okay. Fun fact: the house has sold. The house on Saratoga Trail had sold within the past year. Finally, after it was sitting for years and years and years, and a family with 3 children now reside there, and the address has since been changed.
Wait,
Um,
the old
the Watts-
the old house,
The Watts
the
house,
one.
the murder house.
Oh,
2825 Saratoga Trail is now has a different
different
address.
number.
And from what I understand, it looks different on the outside. They changed the facade and everything.
I would not.
But you would know though.
You would, yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, I
your
guess.
friend-
And fun fact, Shanann had picked all the color schemes on the inside. Chris Watts was the one who picked the color scheme on the outside, which was kind of ugly, if you ask me. I didn't really like the brown and all that kind of stuff. The stone was okay.
I didn't talk about this on the previous episode about Gypsy Rose, but after we were done, their house was pink. Dee Dee and Gypsy's house was pink. And since it has changed and they have changed the outside of it, but true crime people are kind of crazy and they still go looking for this stuff. But I mean, they like on TikTok, they're like, this is the house, and I don't know.
Okay, so I missed an episode of you doing. No, I'm mad. I missed it. Ugh. That was like one of my first like falling in love with true crime stories that I listened to.
You're gonna have to listen and find out again.
And I missed it. She's getting out soon, isn't she?
Tomorrow.
As of recording, yes, she gets out tomorrow.
We need to do a follow-up episode.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, also the Idaho 4 house is supposed to come down tomorrow.
Yes, it's supposed to come down tomorrow. They're supposed to tear it down, and people are not happy about that.
I don't know why they don't wait until after the trial.
You want to fill me in, because I'm also clueless. I don't listen to anything up to date on anything like this. Tell me more.
The Idaho 4 is Brian Koberger and the 4 college students that were like brutally murdered.
Yeah.
A little over a year ago. They are tearing the house that the murders happened in. They're tearing it down. Which, okay, so here's the thing. I do think that the house needs to be kind of torn down, but like B said, after the trial.
Yeah, that's not a smart choice.
Well, I mean, okay, so let's think about the Watts case with that house. That house was, well, it was bankruptcy and it was all this kind of stuff, foreclosure and taxes owed and homeowners, the homeowners association, they owed fees and things. And so that house sat for years and years. So it's 2023 now, and it just sold within the last year. So, I mean, it sat for like 4 years with nobody living in it and nobody maintaining it. And a lot of people wanted that house torn down and put in like a memorial garden or something there for Shanann and the children. But since it's in an
HSA. Yeah,
No.
HOA.
HOA. Yeah, so since it's in one of those, that they would have to approve them to tear that house down and do all that. And so I guess they didn't want to do that. So this house sat for years and years until a family finally decided to buy it, move in. a lot of murder houses are tore down and readdressed and things like the Tate murder house, that one was tore down and
Well,
rebuilt.
I think realtors have to disclose, like they have to disclose. There's different states, but I think if there's like something brutal like that, they do have to disclose that for, whatever reason. I'm sure for uh the current owner or the person who's looking to buy for their own safety, because again, the true crime community, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we're
They
a
they
little
don't. There's no personal space there.
no.
No, they'll walk right. They would walk right up to the Watts house and look in the windows, and they climbed over the fence and stole the kids' toys and things. Like,
Why? This is sick.
they wanted a piece of history.
Not history.
There was a house in California that somebody had been murdered in or something, and somebody had bought the house, and they actually and I forget where it is. I forget what the murder was, but they actually allow people to come in and tour their house and stuff. Like, they were very open about it. Yes, this murder happened here. Yes, come up, knock on my door. I'll give you a tour and stuff.
That's weird.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like the Villisca Axe murders, like their house, and
O.J. Simpson, the Nicole Brown Simpson, that house was tore down too, I think, and readdressed a lot, But then you've got the Villisca Axe murder house from the
and Lizzie
1800s.
Borden.
Yeah, and they're still up and
They're still
people
up.
tour
them, yeah.
sleep
I would
there.
love to go see them.
Which one, Villisca or Lizzie Borden?
Either or. Probably the Lizzie Borden, because the Lizzie Borden's closer, I think.
I'd like to
'Cause
see both.
Idaho, yeah, I would love to see both.
Yeah.
I would love
Okay.
to see both for the history, not for really much anything else.
The murder
yeah.
history.
Yeah.
The murder history. Okay. I stated earlier that Shanann reportedly had many serious health issues. Shanann also alleged that the girls had health issues. I think Cece needed a surgery on like her eye, ears, nose, throat kind of thing. I think she had trouble feeding or something, maybe. But she had a surgery. Bella had a lot of fevers. A lot of people on the internet criticized Shanann because Bella would take like the thermometer and try to stick it up the baby doll's butt and things like that, and saying that Shanann was abusive, like by taking
That is
the temperature that day.
That's the most accurate way of getting a temperature. So
Yeah.
if Shanann's doing that, it doesn't sound
She
like
she also worked at a children's hospital for a little bit too, not as a nurse, or I don't know what she did, but she did work for a children's hospital. But I will tell you, in 1994, when my firstborn was born, that's what they suggested you do: take the baby's temperature rectally, like daily. Now, by the time number 2 was born, they weren't suggesting that anymore. But and I don't know, when Bella was born, maybe, I don't know what the circumstances were why she had to take her temperature, but
well, and everything changes. Like there's a lot that you're not supposed to do, and then you're supposed to do it, and then you're not supposed to do it, and then you're supposed to do it. So if you said it was Bella,
Bella's the older one, yeah.
okay, so it was Cece that was
Cece was the baby.
taking the thermometer with her baby doll?
No,
Or
Bella.
that was
Bella. Yeah.
If she sees that and she's playing doctor,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not, yeah. And I think they're,
Yeah. But there was a lot of criticism of Shanann and her mothering techniques and things. There was also rumors that Shanann had children and youth involved, and she wasn't allowed to live with her kids. And none of that's been substantiated. The kids were always sick and in the hospital and stuff. But when Cindy and Ronnie Watts came to stay with them in Colorado, the kids were healthy. The same when Sandy and Frank Grusek came and visited, the kids were healthy. And so a lot of people thought that maybe there was some Munchausen going on there with Shanann sickening the girls. But again, none of that was substantiated.
But if
I've
she has
always-
lupus and lives daily with lupus, maybe she was just trying to be on top of everything with the girls. I mean, I was just kind of throwing that out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. But Shanann had researched a specific disorder that is typical of people with the Mediterranean heritage. I guess they have some kind of fever syndrome or idiosyncratic. I don't know. Your brother used to have fevers and stuff, and I think it was from his molars. He would get these random fevers and stuff. But I guess Bella used to get these fevers, and so she thought she looked into and suspected, and there were groups on Facebook and different online communities where she was searching for diseases for her
Is it
kids.
searching or is it trying to find answers? Again,
Well,
I just
Again, yeah, who knows?
you don't know. Yeah, she might
No.
have just been trying to find answers for what's going on. It doesn't have to be Munchausen's. Maybe she just was a hypochondriac.
Maybe, and if she was sick, right, like you said.
Why do they always get to pick apart the victim though? I don't get that.
They dehumanized Shanann, and they like I don't know. They just tried to tear her apart after everything. I mean, even Netflix, they kind of even there's a documentary on Netflix, and I think they even like, okay, she might not have been perfect, but she's still a victim. And
At the end of the
Yes,
day, we're all trying to get through this thing we call life.
yes,
And do
you
the
can
best
sit
we
there
can.
and be like, she did this, this, and this, but why do we have to speculate? She has no voice to sit there and say, like,
No,
no, I was just like I was doing
Right.
this because of this. But they do dehumanize her
It's awful.
quite often.
well, I mean, even when the murders happened, and then he suggested that she did the girls, and then he did to her what she did to them, and we know that she did not kill those children. Now the question
think
is,
she
did she
did.
kill the children?
Well, somebody did.
Okay. So, I had said that she had researched this Mediterranean heritage fever thing. But when they did the autopsies of the girls, again, they didn't find any significant issues. I don't know if they possibly could really investigate when they did the autopsies because of the state of the bodies when they came out of the oil. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there.
That probably messed some stuff up. And
How'd you miss
What?
stuff?
no, the oil
Well,
probably.
So liquid has a different effect on your skin and things. So your skin, just like when you're in a bathtub, do you remember when you were a little girl and you'd be like, I'm wrinkled, I must be clean, because you were always concerned about your fingers and toes being wrinkled, and I would tell you, oh, if you're wrinkled, that must mean you're clean. And so you would always stay in the bathtub until your fingers and toes were wrinkled.
So cute.
I know. It's all fun and games until the skin starts coming off of your body.
Yeah, slippage.
Shanann was a consultant for Lavelle, and she sold a health supplement called Thrive. After the Watts case, I was interested in Thrive because, all these things that she had said about, how it cured her lupus and it made her feel better and it gave her a lot of energy and things. So I took the supplements for several years. I wasn't as enthusiastic at selling it as Shanann was, but I did find that the products were helpful and I did have more energy, and it started helping me lose a little weight. So, but but they have a whole line of different products. They have like skin products now, and but they're pretty pricey.
Yeah, they're very pricey.
They are. Shanann did well in her position with Lavelle, and she actually earned a car benefit. So in order to earn a car, you have to sell so much for
Wow.
so many months and things, and then you get a car. They'll pay your car payment, but you can only pick from certain cars. And of course, Shanann picked
And
the
you have
Lexus.
to keep up, and you have to keep the sales up too, or they'll take it
Yes,
back. Yeah.
because if you don't keep the sales up, they won't pay the car payment, and then you're stuck with a $400 or $500 car payment. So I mean, it's kind of a catch-22.
There's a pink Mary Kay car that drives around town. I see it all the time.
I don't know about Mary Kay's car. Aren't they pink?
That's what I said. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
pink SUV.
Yeah. But so she did keep her sales expectations up high. Now her credit by the time she'd moved to Colorado was not very good. So remember she built that beautiful mansion in North Carolina. She sold that and used it as a down payment to build the house on Saratoga Trail. But when they bought the house, Shanann's credit sucked. So they put it in Chris's name. And also the Lexus from Lavelle was also in Chris's name because her credit, she couldn't get any credit. Now I don't know if that's because she didn't have a JOB, or I know she was working for the Children's Hospital at certain times. But I'm not sure what happened to her credit from the time she lived in North Carolina and worked for the Dirty South until the time she got married and then moved to Colorado. So 6 weeks prior to the August 13th, 2018 murder, Shanann and the girls took a trip home to North Carolina to see her parents and to also see Chris's family. Chris was to join his family the final week of the North Carolina trip. So after 5 weeks, he was going to come out and spend the final week with them. While Shanann and the girls were away, Shanann reported to her friends that she noticed a huge change in Chris's behavior towards her and the girls. He didn't call, or when he did, he was real quick on the phone. He wasn't very affectionate. Like he didn't tell her that he loved her, things like that. And so Shanann was kind of wondering what was going on back home.
Yes, there were text messages on
Yes.
the Netflix special that they posted of her saying there's something going on, there's something wrong, he's not talking to me, blah, 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 blah. Really sad.
So that opens us up to the next topic, which is they refer to her as NK, Nicole Kessinger. Nicole worked with Chris at his oil company, Anadarko, and she worked in the office. I think she did something with like geology or rocks or something. She was also into crystals and metaphysical stuff too.
Me too, girl.
And she reportedly did know that he was married. He told her that he was separated. But there were reports that Nicole NK had researched Shanann Watts before she even knew who Chris Watts was. Again, that's all speculation. You can't really prove it. And like, did she seek out Chris? Did she seek out Shanann? Like, was this part of the conspiracy to kill Shanann and the kids? Like, it goes all over the place. But for 6 weeks, Chris and NK were hot. Let's just put it that way. Chris had a bunch of like gift cards from Anadarko. Like, I guess they would give bonuses, but it wasn't financial bonuses. It was like a gift card to Red Robin or this place or that place. So he had a lot of gift cards. So instead of giving them cash bonuses, they would give them gift cards. So when Chris and NK would date, he would pay for the dates, but he would use those gift cards. So Shanann kept a tight leash on the financial aspect of the marital funding. And so she didn't know that he was going out and dating and spending money on NK until the night before her murder, when she was in,
Yeah,
I
she
believe.
looked at her bank statements or something.
Well, like my BJ's card, it's Capital One, and so when I charge something, it'll like pop up. It'll tell
Oh,
me.
it'll notify you. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I think that's what happened to Shanann. They had gone out to eat at a restaurant, and he didn't have any gift cards, so he used his money, and it popped up on Shanann's phone, and so Shanann calls him and says, "What are you doing? Why are you spending $80 at this burger joint?" And he's like, "Oh, I went out with some friends," which it was NK, it wasn't friends. I guess he was supposed to go to like a Colorado Rockies game or something, and things like that. But that's how Shanann found out that he was spending money on NK. And as you know, she was pregnant. She was 15 weeks pregnant with Nico. I guess Chris had wanted a son, but of course he only made girls. And I don't know if they wanted to have the third one or if that's something Shanann wanted, but they did get pregnant with the third child. And there's a video of him coming into the house and her announcing it. No. One of the comments he makes is, "Well, I guess when you want something, you get it." Because that's how Shanann was. Shanann was very much if I want something, I'm going to get it. I'm going to work for it. I'm going to earn it. I'm going to get it. Like don't stand in my way. And
I like it. I want it. I got it.
Right.
I got it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But the question is, had he already checked out of the marriage before she got pregnant? And then he had to tell lies to his girlfriend, that the baby isn't his, the baby is somebody else's, we're broke up, we're only living in the same house for the girls, I'm living in the basement while she has the bedroom, and things like that. Yeah, but he was not very happy about the baby. She wanted to go and have a sonogram to find out the gender, and I guess he was going to go, but then he wasn't going to go, and then she canceled it. They were going to have a gender reveal party, and I think her one friend knew what the gender was, and she knew what the gender was, but nobody found out the gender until the baby, the murder.
Yeah, she said that he ruined it, didn't she? Or
Yeah,
she said
because
he said that he ruined it.
He didn't love her anymore. He didn't want to be married to her anymore. And that was that.
Well, can I just say something?
Sure.
If he didn't want it, there was steps that he could have used to prevent.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it takes two to tango.
It does, but let's just say, because they had a very active sex life, according to Shanann's text messages, and there was nothing wrong in that area of their marriage. So let's just say he fell out of love with Shanann, and he fell into lust with NK at the time he got Shanann pregnant.
There's things that he could have done to prevent.
Yeah, yes. But if you're in a marriage,
having his cake and eating it too.
Right. But I mean, then that goes back to the question: there was a discussion? They wanted to try again. They wanted another one. So was there a discussion between the husband and the wife that let's try? And then he got cold feet. I always thought it was weird with that the baby announcement that he said, "Oh, it's pink. Is it another girl?" Like, do you not know how pregnancy tests work?
Oh, I didn't know he said that.
Yeah. If you go back and watch the "Oops, I Did It Again" video, he was like, "Oh, the line's pink. Does that mean it's a girl?" And she's like, "No, it just means I'm pregnant."
That I'm sorry, that says more about sex education in the United States than it does anything else.
Yes,
He's
absolutely.
a grown ass man, and he thought a pink line meant it was a girl.
I mean, there's also grown men who think girls wash their underwear in the bathroom if they bleed through. They think that we take our underwear off and wash our underwear in the sink. So,
Well, there's also men who don't know that there's a hole in the middle between the front and the back, and they think the babies come out the back end.
Men are dumb.
again, well, no, I don't know if it's men. I think it's sex education. Like
That's-
we're not educating properly. But that's a topic for another day.
Now, I have to tell
Yes.
about my nonni. I have to tell the story about my nonni. So I think it was Thanksgiving. I remember my nonni was washing dishes in my mom's house. And I come in, and I don't know why I asked. I was like maybe like 8 or 10. And I said, where do babies come from? And my nonni, Italian nonni, like I think she had like a 5th grade education. Like she was very, and that, like those people in like the 20s, they did not talk about sex, like it was taboo. And so I said, where do babies come from? The front hole or the back hole? And she's washing dishes, and she just like stops and goes, neither hole. There's one in the middle. And I was like, what? And then I shut up and went on my own way, like trying to figure this out. What do you mean there's another hole? I only knew there's one hole here and one hole there. What do you mean there's one in the middle? That gave me something.
Wow.
True story.
You seem so calm
You can
about
leave that in there.
Neither.
Please leave that story in there about my nonni.
Okay.
Okay. We are so
Please
far off.
continue.
Okay. The night of the murders. So they flew back from North Carolina on about like the 6th or 7th of August, 2018. They flew back as a family, Chris and Shanann and the 2 girls. And Shanann had a Lavelle trip to Arizona, I believe. I think the 8th and the 9th. The 8th or the 9th, she left to go to Arizona, and she arrived back home the night of the 12th, August 12th, 2018. And there's video of her friend Nicole Atkinson dropping her off at the door, her walking up to the door, carrying her bag, and coming in the house. And that's the last time Shanann is ever seen alive.
Yeah, it's scary, eerie.
Right. And so there's some YouTubers that said, you can tell there's somebody lurking like in the shadows at the window. I don't know. I don't know if he was waiting at the door when she came in and attacked her, or according to him, they had relations, and then they got into a fight, and she killed the girls, and then he choked her, and her eyes went red. And I mean, the stories the man has told, you don't know what the truth is. There's been some psychics who have said that there was another woman and a man involved.
So 2 women and a man.
Yeah, the one psychic that, she took her YouTube channel down. So I don't have any receipts for that, but there was like a Hispanic woman and NK, and Leave Jim Alone was there when the murders happened. Now, Leave Jim Alone, he is a friend of NK's, I guess. He was staying at NK's apartment, and Cass is falling asleep. Cass is bored.
No, I'm not.
You-
I just don't feel good. I'm sorry.
You can tell you're really pale. Like you're paler than usual.
You're pasty white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a ghost, not a vampire.
Ooh.
You're not sparkly though.
Darn. Edward.
This is the skin of the killer.
Tit soak.
What?
Tit soak. This is the T. This is the T. Skin S of O A killer. Tit soak. TITSOAK.
Okay.
Well, anyway, so this one psychic that I watch, she's back on YouTube now. But she said that like the demon or whatever lives, like the evil whatever it is, lives in the closet in the master bedroom in that house. That goes back
that
to
demon lives in wherever Chris Watts is in that prison.
Well, I guess there's a dark entity that lives at Saratoga Trail, supposedly. But people that live there, I haven't heard anything about anybody running out of there screaming and yelling, and nobody's.
Tell Chris
Yeah.
Watts. He's the demon. Demon named
Well,
Christopher
but then-
Lee Watts.
He has said that Bella and Cece have come to visit him in his cell.
That's bullshit. I mean, unless they're haunting him, that's bullshit. That's like Lori Vallow saying that JJ and Tylee come to visit her. She's so full of shit, and so is Chris Watts.
Right. Well, if Shanann goes to visit him, I'm surprised she doesn't put her hands around his neck. But they're
I
saying
would punch him. I would
When-
become a poltergeist so fast.
when you die, apparently you don't have the anger that us human beings have. You don't have that anger when you're a spirit.
Would it
with
be
the-
intensified? Look, as a Scorpio rising, and I do have pretty heavy Scorpio in me. There's a lot of anger, but no, be intensified. What could it could be intensified? I'm sure.
No, when you are with the maker energy,
There
God.
are angry spirits out there.
they haven't gone to God. They're probably in purgatory. They're probably stuck between here and the there.
Well, people who die tragically are the ones that are usually stuck in purgatory. So if Cece and Bella are visiting him, I hope that he does not get any sleep. I hope they keep him up.
Well, that's why they had to move him out of Colorado, because the inmates were screaming at him to kill himself and all that kind of stuff, and they were going to get him. So they moved him to Wisconsin.
Good grief.
But and he had pictures, I guess, of Bella and Cece and Shanann on his wall, and there was a petition to have those removed because
They're his
Murders.
victim.
murders are not allowed to have pictures of their victims. And he's a family annihilator, and he annihilated his family, and so he lost the opportunity to have photos of his family on his wall. Who's got a crazy mother-in-law? You do not. Your mother-in-law is nice. So Shanann and her mother-in-law didn't get along very well, as I kind of alluded to, which gets us into Peanut Gate. So I had said about how Cece and Bella had medical problems. Reportedly, Cece was allergic to nuts, tree nuts. And so while Shanann took the girls to North Carolina that last 6 weeks before their demise, they'd gone to Cindy and Ronnie Watts' house. And according to Shanann, Cindy Watts tried to kill Cece by, I guess, feeding her pistachio ice cream. And yeah, and I guess there was a bowl of nuts, peanuts or something on the coffee table. And Shanann had given like a list of these are the foods that Celeste can have, these are the foods she can't have. And she was very particular about what food went into the children's bodies because they had allergies. Now, there's also reports that, going back to Shanann's lives, she fed the girls Thrive bars, which sometimes they contain nuts. And so they have videos of Celeste eating these bars and question, why did you have a big jar of peanut butter in your house if your child is allergic to tree nuts?
Yeah,
Why
'cause
did you feed
the smell, I'm sure.
well, the oil, if
Yeah.
you take the peanut butter on the spoon and put it on a sandwich and then you don't you wash it, but what if the oil's still on there and then she has a bowl of cereal with that spoon? She can ingest the oils from the tree nuts. So there's a lot of questions about that, but so this caused another big rift between the Watts family and Shanann. And Shanann called her parents and said, "Come get me," and she never brought the girls back. Cece's birthday was spent in North Carolina, and the Watts family didn't attend the birthday party. I think they provided birthday presents, but the presents were not open. The presents are probably still not open to this very day, because the little girl's passed now. And the mother-in-law blamed Shanann. The mother-in-law blamed Shanann for a lot of the problems between Shanann and Chris, and a lot of Chris's problems. But we don't really know. We don't really know what caused all the problems between Chris and Shanann. Was it just that they grew apart? They were in bankruptcy. They had financial problems. They had filed for bankruptcy before. They had problems with the homeowners association. They were behind on their mortgage. Do you think that Chris just kind of lost his mind, like with all the financial responsibility, plus he was going to have another baby, and they just weren't financially stable enough? Do you think that's why he killed them, or do you think it was because of the girlfriend? Like, what are your thoughts?
I think it's because of the girlfriend. I don't think it has anything to do with them. I think it's the girlfriend. He wanted to have, just her in his life, and he wanted to get rid of his past and all that stuff.
Probably carefree in the relationship. He didn't have I mean, I maybe it could be all of it. It could be a mixture of everything, He's got responsibilities with the girls, and now he's adding a third responsibility into this. And
Well, and the girls went to a very prestigious preschool daycare. Shanann worked from home. What did the girls need daycare for? Or at least I could see putting Bella in a preschool because she was almost ready for kindergarten, so to prepare her for kindergarten. But Celeste was just 2. What did she need to go to a preschool for? And she was pregnant, but the baby wasn't there yet. I could see if the baby had been born and he's just kind of wanted time with you and the baby, and you put the 2 girls in daycare just for socialization or something. But those girls were in daycare, a very expensive daycare, all day long. And so that's expensive.
I'm sure the
And-
house was
And the
expensive.
money that Shanann was making from Lavelle was probably paying that car payment. And so she had to keep selling and selling and selling and selling and selling.
Mhm.
And you can only sell to so many people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think maybe the financial responsibilities were a lot for Chris, and then he kind of was looking for a way out, and he saw NK. NK wanted to have the first son. She wanted to have his first son, and Shanann beat him to that. So I don't know. Do you think NK was involved in the murder,
Yes.
or do you think it was just all Chris?
Well, I have heard they pinged her location on
They
her
did.
phone at the house, like the same time of the murders or similar in the
The
hours
morning.
of the murders. Mhm.
Do you think the girls were
And
killed in the house? Do you think the girls were killed in the house, or do you think they were killed at the oil field like he says?
no, I thought, no, I think they were murdered at the house.
I
Maybe not
think
completely, because I know at one point he says one of the girls wakes up and says like, please don't hurt me, daddy," or something.
Are you going to do
Um,
to me what you did to her?
yeah,
Hmm.
and I know NK Googled, um, Lori, Lori Peterson? No, what is her
Oh,
name?
Lacey Peterson.
Lacey, yes,
Scott and Lacey Peterson.
Lacey,
Yeah.
yes. She Googled the book deal for Scott Peterson's
Amber Fry.
lady.
Amber Fry was
Mhm.
the mistress of Scott Peterson. One of many mistresses of Scott Peterson.
Yes, but she wrote a book and she looked up how much she made and her tell-all, and it's
There's
just
also
that if
there's
I
also
done it,
rumors. There's also rumors that NK's father was Masonic, and so he was in kind of like kind of like the Odinists and stuff. But again,
I don't know what that is.
well, obviously you don't watch the Idaho stuff.
No, I don't. I watch enough of it and then but
And
I
you
don't deep
you
dive
don't
into
and you
it.
don't watch the Snapchat girls.
Well, I know about the Snapchat girls, the Snapchat killer. I do know about that. How they caught him, but like they
Yeah, but
took a picture of
they
him.
think that the Odinists are involved in that one.
You'll have to do a deep dive.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, when I get done with this. Okay, so we think NK was involved. Yes.
yes.
We think the girls were alive at the house and killed at the oil fields, or we think the girls were killed at the house and then
I think they're killed at the house. Easier to
both
move.
I think the one
one
I
was
think
killed
the
at the
one
house
was
and one
killed. Yes.
because there's also video they say that they see two little feet go under the truck. And there's also they say that they saw a ponytail.
In the
Somebody
camera.
bent over. Yeah, and the camera from Nate, the neighbor's house. He had like a Ring camera or something.
I don't think Shanann had anything to do with it, despite his claims of Shanann doing it. I don't think so. I mean,
100%.
we'll never know, but
Right. Okay, ladies. Well, that's all I got. That's all I got. I didn't really want to go into the nitty gritty of the demise. I just wanted to kind of go into the background and just kind of get a feel of what you guys thought about the case.
It's
I think
definitely
he is
interesting.
a douche canoe.
Douche canoe, correct.
I just
I
wish we had
do.
more answers. We need
I cannot stand Chris Watts. Like, there's all these girls out there who are like, "Oh my gosh, she's so attractive." No, he is a family annihilator.
there's nothing
He
attractive about
he killed he killed his pregnant wife and he killed his two beautiful baby girls. Like, there's nothing, and they try to sympathize with him. They're like, "Oh, he didn't mean to." You,
He
Gross.
knew what he was doing.
I mean, that's a whole nother level, finding like serial killers and all them people attractive. But like Chris Watts, he is a loser through and through. I heard that he got married. I don't know how
No,
true that is.
I didn't hear
Yes, I
that.
was listening to, I think it was Seriously with Annie Elise. I think she said that he was married, but there's a lot of people who claim to be married to Chris Watts in jail.
No,
I
I
think
don't
he's a loser.
he I know he has a lot of women.
Yes. And he actually gets off on people talking about his podcast or people talking about his case. Like he likes to hear
What they think of everything. Well, he's famous.
Chris
the wrong
Watts, you are a loser. I hope those girls
reason.
punch you every night. And I hope Shanann becomes a poltergeist and punches you right in your fat nose.
Ding dong.
Just a ding dong.
Okay, girls.
All
I'm sorry.
right.
I was quiet.
You don't feel good.
No.
Anybody who's on YouTube can see that you look like a ghost.
Oh God, don't look at me. Put a smiley face for me.
Smiley face.
Yes, one of those freaky ones.
I'll put pictures or something of the case over you. So.
Bro. Put the Mr. Yuck face on my face.
Mr. Yuck face.
Bring back.
Mr. Yuck
Yeah.
is mean. Mr. Yuck is
I was always told that was the cock.
You're always what?
Face guy.
What?
Like if he had the face on it, is that the green guy with the
Yes.
face?
Yes. Poison
Yes,
control.
That was
Yes.
Kaka. That was Kaka.
Kaka. Wonder
That's
where that.
That was Kaka.
Oh my.
It's not Italian for shit.
Yeah.
Not Italian, it's Spanish.
Yeah, well, I think it's Italian too.
Well, Italian and there's a lot of
They're
words
romance
that can,
languages.
yes, they're very similar. Not the same, but they do have similarities in them.
That's true.
I want to learn how to speak Italian. It's so pretty.
Hold on. I want to get rid of the blur. I want to show you my pretty cat.
Oh, look at that face.
Oh.
Emotional support cat.
Thanks. He's like, I gotta get ready for my camera. There you
Oh,
go. Your breath
good
stinks.
close up. Well,
Boy.
you can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and TikTok. We're also on YouTube now. It again might not be the greatest quality editing wise. I am still learning, but
I gotta make sure I don't pick my nose when we have the cameras on.
yeah, tune in to see Cass pick her nose.
It's gonna be knuckles deep.
Digging for gold.
Ugh.
Like, share, send us to some friends.
Thanks for listening.
Yay.
Thank you for listening. Give us some love. Let us know what you think about the episode.
The more love
Do you
you
think-
give, the more episodes we'll make.
Yeah, do you think Chris Watts is a loser?
I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me?
Lady Boner gone.
I'm gonna use that.
You gotta do the
You're gonna teach little A how to do that?
Mm-mm. No, that girl.
quit bitching.
She does not have any more help. Quit bitching. I don't want to hear it. No.
That's
Like-
very Sagittarius.
Yeah, you wait, girl.
She's a Karen. I'm
Big
telling.
Sagittarius energy.
Mm. Yes.
The other day, she was doing something. And I said, "Are you being good?" She goes, "Mommy, you know better."
Oh.
Damn, because she's just starting to like really speak well. So it's like you can't believe you're hearing her say those words all put together still. So like that, the shock of that is there, and then it dawns on you what she says, and you're just like, wow. We call her the three-nager now.
She's Sagittarius.
Oh,
Spicy.
help me.
Spicy.
Help.
All right. Well, I'm
Plus
getting off
Capricorn.
of here.
Yes, I need to go to bed.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye.